Good morning, everybody. Hello, it's Duff McDonald, and welcome to Around the World with Duff McDonald. That's me. It is 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I welcome you to the show. If you haven't seen the show before, this is me talking to different folks all over the globe and checking in with people, seeing how they're doing during this COVID-19 pandemic, and finding out what people's daily lives are like, what a day entails for them in their chosen country. And it's been a very interesting time over the past, I guess we're on episode 8 now. So yeah, we've learned a lot. We've traveled to Portugal, Australia, England, the States. I hope to do a lot more in Canada and the States over the coming episodes. But thanks for those friends who have hooked me up over the past few weeks. I really appreciate it. Today is May 28th, Thursday. If you didn't know, now you do. And yeah, we go live. I do. It's just me, myself, and I. I go live Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and the times will vary depending on who I'm talking to. Today, I'm hopefully talking to Greg and Shawn, but as it stands right now, I have not heard from them. So I hope everything's okay on their end. I know that it's about 8 p.m. in Hong Kong, so we'll just wait and see if they'll chime in and join the broadcast. Otherwise, it's just a one-man show here today. For those of you who are joining, and if you would like to join me on screen, I've put the thingamajiggy right there. StreamYard AGWC 9KV2JK. If you want to come on and chat with me on screen in this room where I am, you can join me and we'll talk about Hong Kong and global issues and what's going on in your life as it pertains to everything happening. So today's episode is with Greg and Shawn, as I told you. They are living in Hong Kong, which is quite a hot spot for news these days. There's a lot going on in Hong Kong, a lot of rioting happening with the citizens there. I've got this horrible photo here. I mean, it's quite violent, actually, and I really feel for the people of Hong Kong. Hong Kong is actually located in southern China, as you can see there. Let me just go in and show you. So this is the island of Hong Kong Island, but then there's also, it's like a region. And yeah, there's a lot going on with the with the Huawei scandal happening. That's actually kind of a bizarre thing in my life. I was cast last year in a Chinese movie called The Red Claws. What is the name of it again? Claws of the Red Dragon. It had a different name to begin with, and it actually is based on the Huawei scandal. And so as I got into it, I realized that this was actually, it was basically about the extradition proceedings against Ming Wanzhou. And yeah, that actually has took a turn for the worse today. Canada has rallied around the U.S. and actually things don't look so good for Ming. She's actually being detained in Vancouver and that whole scandal. So if you don't know, the whole Huawei scandal is about Ming and her extradition. And within days, and this is the character that I played actually in the movie, within 2 days, two Canadians were detained working and living in China, Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor. And they're still detained in China. So we hope that we will bring them home sometime soon. But with COVID now, it doesn't look so good because we're not allowing anyone in and they're not allowing anyone any travel out. So that's not looking so good for those two guys, those two gentlemen, and we pray for them and their families that they have a safe return to Canada. Ming is being held in Vancouver, as I said, and the U.S. Thanked Canada in its continued assistance in the case against Ming. She's accused of lying to the HSBC executive in Hong Kong about Huawei's control of a company that was violating U.S. economic sanctions against Iran. So that's some very serious stuff going on with her. She's, I think, detained in her mansion in Vancouver. She's got a house arrest happening. And some notes on Hong Kong. We still have no idea if my guests are joining me. So if anyone wants to join, come on screen. So Hong Kong is a very densely populated area. It has the largest number of skyscrapers of any city in the world. Highest life expectancy. It's hard to say at 8 a.m. In the world, and hosts the largest concentration of ultra high net worth individuals of any city in the world. So that's really important right now because of the trade happening and the U.S. sanctions against China, which is, ironically, Donald Trump cut off China and was bad mouthing China, and then proceeds to order. That's where they got their masks from in the beginning. So then they cut that off and started making them in the U.S. But that was a horrible thing to do, yes. And so Hong Kong, I think, is 7.4 million people. And it is its own special administrative region. So they're saying it's one country, China, with two systems. So actually China that is what all of this is about with the riots, is that people are saying they want to be more of a democratic and society, and now China is actually forcing Hong Kong to become part of the whole system. So boy, I feel sorry, and I'm wondering how our guys, maybe them not joining me this morning has something to do with all of that. I have no idea if emails are even going into China. They're very tricky about all of that, and at any point they could shut down this whole broadcast. So I'm now going to give you a little COVID update. China has 84,106 cases and 4,638 deaths. Canada has almost the same thing, but we are a much less populated country. We have the same amount of cases, almost 87,519 cases. So that's not great, because Hong Kong and China is much more densely populated. So that's a really interesting fact, actually. And so Canada has 6,858 deaths. China had 4,638. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. The USA, on the other hand, has 1,699,176 cases as of today, and 100,418 deaths. So something's definitely going wrong in the US, because, yeah. And globally, we have 5,691,790. 5 million. Why do I have so much trouble with saying this? 5,691,790 cases globally, and I think we're still at around just under 400,000 deaths globally. So I also just want to shout out, while I'm waiting for my guests, it's now, I guess we're 9 minutes in, and I haven't heard from them. So I could very well have to bail on this unless someone chimes in and wants to join me on screen. But yeah, I hope things are okay for Shawn and Greg over there. Yes. So shout outs to Aaron Pritchett and Steve Amazol with their show Quarantunes. It's happening on Instagram live every night. I think almost every night. I think on the weekends they take a couple of days off, but you can check them out. Aaron Pritchett, it's called Quarantunes. It's on at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's great. He has musical guests. Aaron is actually quite a big country music star from British Columbia. I've known him for years. And Steve Amazol is an old friend of mine. He does little comedy turns on there and gives up some good facts. He's also on my show, and actually I'm going to check in with Lloyd Robinson Johnson, but I don't see we have any feed from him. So something's definitely going on today in China. So hopefully we'll hear from Lloyd. Big Girl and Friends happens every night at 7 p.m. On YouTube, and he has some amazing Canadian musical theater stars and guests. That's a lot of fun if you check that out on YouTube. It's called Big Girl and Friends. And then my friend Jeremy Webb has a show. Sorry, I'm a bit thrown by nobody's showing up here, but Off the Leash, it's called, out of Neptune Theater in Halifax, and that's a great show as well. He has a lot of guests, Canadian guests, out of the theater in Halifax. So everybody, I don't know what's going on. I have no idea where my friends are. Ironically, I had a whole thing about this little device I ordered from China. It just came the other day. It's actually a neck massager, goes around the back. These two things on the back here are heating pads and electrodes. It's kind of like a Dr. Ho, and it's charged USB. It came from Shenzhen. I think that's how you pronounce it. Shenzhen, China. I think, let me show you here. Shenzhen. I did have a picture of it. Anyway, it's just above Hong Kong. Oh, there. Shenzhen. So anyway, it came from there, and it's actually a great little device. I think it was like $40 or $60 or something like that. It's pre-charged through USB, and yeah, little electrodes on the back of the neck. It massages you. It has 3 different settings. It's called a Naplex. Sounds dirty, but it's not. It's actually really great. I hope I don't fry my brain with it, but we'll just see about that. Okay, well, I don't know where my guests are. I can only talk so long without nobody here. So unfortunately, we might have to reschedule. I hope everything's okay for Shawn and Greg out in Hong Kong. I really feel badly that they didn't get a chance to come on. I was looking forward to talking to them. Anyway, everybody, I hope everyone has a great day. At least you got some information about Hong Kong. And yeah, have a good day, everybody. I'm going to tune off, and we might tune in later, maybe, if we can get a hold of the guys. Keep an eye out for the live stream that might happen later in the day. Okay, cheers, everybody. Be good to yourself and be good to everyone else around you. Wear a mask and wash your hands. Thanks, guys. Sorry we didn't have our guests. I hope they're okay.